Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. So today the Sephora Spring VIB event starts, and for those of us who are Rouge members, you get 20% off. I thought I would go over some of my favorites while putting on my face so you could see what I use regularly or just a favorite, and that'll give you some idea of what you might want to look into during the Sephora VIB sale. So if you're interested in seeing what I love, then please keep on watching. I'm going to start off with the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I like to use this because I have some very enlarged pores. So I like to take a little bit of this, like this much, and I like to press this into my pores. Now I do have oily skin and I am a mature 49, almost 50. I can't believe I'm going to be 50 this year. Okay, so I like to press that into my pores. That helps diminish the look of pores when I put my makeup on, which is always nice. Then I like to go in with my Becca Anti-Fatigue Primer. Now this helps my concealer stay on smooth, and I just take a little bit of this and just put this under my eyes, and it smooths out all the little fine lines and wrinkles. Then I'm gonna go in with my Farsali liquid powder, and I just take a few drops of this and I press that into my skin because I don't want to disrupt the smoothing primer that I already put on. And this really is amazing. It does help control the oils, and I need to let that set for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite foundations, and it's the Dior Air Flash Spray Foundation. I have mine in the color 3N. Now this is my winter pandemic color. I do have 3.5 or 3.4 as well, but this is the color that I currently use. And I'm gonna just go ahead and spray this onto my wet damp beauty blender, and then I'm gonna stipple that onto my skin. And this makes my skin look flawless. It's so thin, it feels like you have nothing on, and it really does give the airbrushed look, which I love. And it's not too thick, and I also do put this on with a brush sometimes, so you have either option. I don't spray it on my face. And I got introduced to this because I started using the Sephora foundation that looks like this. And I like that one too. And if you're just starting off and you don't want to spend the Dior prices, then I recommend the Sephora one. Okay, see, look at how great my skin looks. It doesn't cover all my hyperpigmentation, but I don't expect foundation like this to do that. That's why you have concealer. Just going a little bit over my areas of hyperpigmentation. Okay, I'm liking how that looks. If it weren't so expensive, I would use this foundation every day. So 20% off is a great way to pick this up. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with some of my favorite concealers, and this is the First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado Concealer. I have mine in the colors 3 and 4. I'm gonna put 3 under my eyes. Now I love this concealer because it doesn't look crepey under my eyes and still does a good job of covering my hyperpigmentation. And then I'm gonna take the number 4 and put this right around my areas of hyperpigmentation. I like my under eyes to look a little bit lighter, and then my areas of hyperpigmentation I like it to look more skin-like. Then I'm just going to take my beauty blender and blend that in. See, look at how good my skin looks. You can still see my hyperpigmentation, but I'm not going for a full coverage look. This is a very beautiful, natural looking kind of a look, which I adore. Then I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. And I have mine in the color 1, and I like to put this under my eyes. It does a great job of powdering my under eye so that it doesn't move, and also blurs pores and imperfections. So I just like to pounce that a little bit around here, but mostly under my eyes and on my eyelids. Then I'm going into my Patrick Star One Size Powder. I love this to set my concealer, especially on my areas of hyperpigmentation. So I'll take my beauty blender, and I took the lid off of this, or the top sifting part, so I could just press this into my skin where I want to blur the pores and set my concealer around my laugh lines, and then of course on my forehead. And this will help to control the oils too. I also like the Huda Beauty Pound Cake, but I ran out of that and we'll be picking that up during the Sephora sale. Hey, there, my face is set. Let's go into eyebrows. Now this is a new favorite. So it's the Gucci Eyebrow Pencil. I have mine in the color 04, and this is the perfect color for me. I love this. I love it so much I'm thinking about getting another one to carry in my handbag. It's like my perfect color, not too warm, not too cool. It's a powder pencil, which reminds me of Charlotte Tilbury's powder eyeliner pencil, which I love to use on my lower lids. So it's not too thick like a pomade or anything like that, but it goes on like powder, but it gives the definition of a pencil, if that makes sense. So I am really enjoying this. So this is a new favorite for me. Now I don't have a favorite eyebrow gel, so I'm just gonna use my Benefit 24-hour eyebrow setter. This is great because it's got these short prongs and you can put this against your eyebrows to set them. But I'm still looking for an eyebrow gel that will hold and set my straight eyebrows. So I will be picking up the Tom Ford eyebrow gel that Michelle Wong talks about all the time. But I thought for this video I would just use this because this is the one I use when I'm not using my Chantecaille. But Chantecaille is not available at Sephora, although it's not one of my favorites, so I don't know that I would necessarily recommend that. So there are my eyebrows. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Hourglass Eye Primer for my eyeshadow. I just take a little bit of that and I'll press that into my lids. Make sure I don't have any concealer there. Okay, so there are two eyeshadow palettes that I wanted to recommend. One is the Pat McGrath Divine Rose, the first Divine Rose. It's the Divine Rose 7. I love this palette, but I think I used this in one of my favorites videos before, so I'm not gonna use that. But this is a great time to pick up a Pat McGrath palette because it is 20% off and these palettes aren't cheap. So I highly recommend this. This is my favorite Pat McGrath palette. The other palette that I wanted to recommend to you today is the Natasha Denona Glam palette. Now I love myself a cool tone palette and this is perfect. So let's go ahead and use this today. I'm just going to take a big blender brush and I'm going to go into this color right here that says blend, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. Now I let my eye primer set in and then I'm going to use this as my transition shade. Now Natasha Denona eyeshadows are so good. And this is one of the MIDI palettes, so it's the $65 palette, so it's more reasonable than her $129 palettes. But I love those too. Now, thank you to those of you guys who responded to my Sephora loves list and told me not to get the Natasha Denona Circle Loco palette. I've taken it out of my shopping cart. So thank you for saving me $129, but I'm sure I'm gonna find another way to spend it. Then I'm gonna go into a smaller brush and I'm going to use it on this color right here that says outer lid, and I'm gonna use that on my outer lid. I'm gonna stamp that in and then I'll blend it out with my first brush. I love this palette so much. If I had this in my vanity, I would use this all the time, so I have to force myself to use other palettes, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna blend out that outer shade so that there's no defined lines there. Then I'm gonna use a flat shader brush and I'm gonna go into this color right here and I'm gonna use that on my center lid and swipe that all on. It's such a pretty color. And blend that in with the outer color. I'm gonna deepen out that outer color again and go back in with my flat shader brush and just tap that together. Then I'm going back in with my first brush and blending all that out just to make sure it's all nice and blended. Then I'm going in with a small pencil brush and I'm gonna use this color right here in my inner corner and highlight that and bring it down into my lower lid. Then I'm gonna brush that off and then I'm gonna go into this color right here and I'm gonna put that on my lower lid, or lower lash line I should say. Then I'm gonna go in with an even skinnier pencil brush and I'm gonna go into this deep shade right here and I'm just gonna do the outer third of my eyes, and I got some fallout there, so I'll have to wipe that off. I just like to emphasize the outer third because I feel like my eyes are too close set in, so I like to bring it out. And let me wipe away the fallout. I'm gonna line my eyes with the Pat McGrath Permagel in Extreme Black on my waterline. And then a new favorite I have is the Gucci eyeliner. Now this stayed on my eyes, did not smudge, did not get into my hooded lids, so I will be picking this up in the black ones. But this one I have is in O2, it's like a gray, and I'm just going to deepen out the outer V and bring that in my lower lash line. So I cannot recommend the Surratt eyelash curler enough. It is shaped so that my eyes, it catches every single eyelash and it curls it beautifully. If you can get this on 20% off, I recommend doing that. Although one of my subscribers said they saw it at Costco. I haven't been to Costco in so long, And even while I'm there, I don't necessarily go look in the beauty aisle. Do you? Is there anything good at Costco I should go for? As for mascara, I don't have a current mascara that I love from Sephora, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Hourglass one. My favorite is Thrive Cosmetics, but they don't sell that at Sephora. So this Hourglass Unlocked is good because it's a tubing mascara. But I'm trying not to buy anything from Hourglass for now until they become more inclusive. So I didn't purchase their new blushes, although I was tempted to try it. But I need a tubing mascara because my hooded eyes and oily lids, all the other mascaras seem to smear during the day. So the tubing mascara is what works best for me. All right, so my eyes are done. Let's go into my face. I'm gonna use my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. I have mine in Intensity 1. I'm planning on picking up the 0.5 because this is just a little deep for me. But I'm gonna take the butt of my sponge and I'm gonna take that and sculpt my cheekbones. And I do like this because you can use it over a set face, which is what I need to do because of my hyperpigmentation. Contour, no contour. So I've been really enjoying this when I do use it. And it blends well over a set face, which I need. So blend that out. Then the highlighter I want to use, I'm going to let that set just a little bit. And the highlighter I wanted to use is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. This is one of my favorite new highlighters. So I'm just gonna take my Sonia G brush and I'm just gonna stipple that in to my areas of hyperpigmentation and blend that in. So pretty. Get it on my nose. Then I wanna go into my bronzer. And of course you guys know the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer is my fave. And so now that my contour has set in a little bit, I'm gonna take my bronzer brush and I'm just gonna stipple that right into where I want my bronzer to go. Get that on my forehead, around my jawline, down my neck. Make sure that's all blended in. And then the blush I want to recommend is the Patrick Ta Shiso LA. Now this looks like it's gonna be dark, but it is gorgeous. I'm gonna take the clean side of my beauty blender and I'm gonna stamp that right onto my cheeks to blend with the bronzer and the highlighter. And this is such a great makeup, no makeup kind of a look. And I love that you can put the cream product on first and then top that with the powder products for longevity. Although I don't think you really need that for longevity, it stays on beautifully. And then when I put the blush on after the highlighter, it blends beautifully with the highlighter. Another product I wanted to recommend was the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lip liners. These lip liners are so good. This one is in the color Leona. So it's one of those that you need to sharpen. Go ahead and line my lip. I'm gonna fill it in. And the reason this is so good is this is long lasting. So it's great for when I'm gonna put a lip gloss over, which I'm going to do right now. So any of the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lip liners, long lasting, great. Okay, then the lippia that I wanted to recommend is the Tom Ford lip glosses. I have mine here in the color 08 in Inhibition. This is one of my favorite lippies. I'm gonna just put that right over. And then with the lip liner, it'll last so much longer. So if you can, get one of these because Tom Ford doesn't really go on sale, so this would be a good time to get that. Lastly, second to the last, don't forget your setting spray, and I swear by this Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. It really does help your makeup stay on longer, which is amazing. But last but not least, can't forget a perfume. I've really been enjoying this, and they sell this now at Sephora. Love by Kilian Don't Be Shy Extreme. I like more fresh, crisp scents, but this is a little more sweet, but it is so delicious. And I wear it all day and I can smell it on me all day, which I freaking love. So I highly recommend this. I thought this was limited edition when I initially ordered it, but I see that it's on Sephora and it doesn't say limited edition anywhere. So try this. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and you have some more ideas on what you might want to pick up from Sephora. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video, and I'll see you next time.